Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
Today we have Daisy Borba with us, and Daisy is in the single-family property management world of the Pleasanton in East Bay. So, Daisy, it's great to have you. I would just love to hear a little history of how you got into this business.
Okay, Bruce, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's an interesting story. I started out my career in the semiconductor industry, actually. I was one of the only women doing sales of capital equipment in that industry. I did that for about a dozen years, and I found myself making a lot of money, had a lot of rental property. It was the late 90s, and the market was very cyclical, just like real estate, no different. And the market kind of came to a halt. The company I was working for was doing an IPO,
Ah.
and then 9/11 happened. and,
Oh,
and we remember what happened then. Greenspan started lowering rates. IPOs and stock options went down, down, down.
oh, wow.
And I started seeing all of my colleagues that I respected that were older than me get laid off. There was a lot of age discrimination. I think there still is age discrimination in high tech, but I think it was more blatant then. And for women, you couldn't find a woman over 40
Oh,
in
wow.
a high position back then. So I kind of came home and had a heart to heart with my husband. And he's my starter hubby. And he supported me, and I said, I think I need to change careers. And I was the main breadwinner. We had a bunch of rental property, a bunch of financial obligations, and I had a big burden on my back, but I had to ask myself, am I really happy, doing this? And is it going to be sustainable, right? Like, the older I get, I'm going to start having kids. Is it going to be sustainable? And as a woman, for me, the answer was no. And I thought, okay, what can I do that will be sustainable, where I can be my own boss? I can work when I want to work, how hard I want to work with who I want to work with, and hopefully, make a good living and build on it. And the idea came to me to do real estate because I already had a lot of experience being a landlord. I realized that working with agents, there were some good agents out there and some bad agents out there. And to me, the ones who really helped me analyze a deal and put it down on paper and crunch the numbers ahead of time, those were the ones that I felt, got me the best deal and had success with those investments. So that's what I did. I went to my boss, and I remember, he told me they were getting ready to lay off 15 more salespeople, but he was keeping me and one other lady.
Oh, wow.
And we basically said, hey, we need to come up with a plan B here. And so I told him flat out, I said, I'm going to study and get my real estate license. And when I met with the website designer, because back then, people used to put rentals in the newspaper, right? There was no Craigslist, didn't exist, nothing in the late 90s. But what I did was, I remember specifically saying to the website designer, I'm not just going to buy and sell homes. There's 820 agents in Pleasanton that do just that. I want to rent them, manage them, and help people invest in them, because that's what is going to make me successful. And I think other people can learn that from me. And I had made a lot of mistakes in my early 20s. I bought my first rental at age 21, right out of college. And unfortunately, I made the mistake of, renting to a Section 8 single grandma with a bunch of grandkids that were, I mean, they were dealing drugs out of the house. It was just a big mess. So after my $40,000 judgment in front of a court and paying $10,000 to an attorney,
Ugh.
I learned that you can't get blood out of a turnip. Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that was an expensive learning lesson. But on the upside, I was able to protect each and every one of my clients through the pandemic when Gavin Newsom did that, moratorium,
right.
right?
Yeah,
And we
terrible.
had people living in homes for 2 years, not paying squat, just squatting.
Oh,
And I learned exactly how to navigate those situations and what to do to get those people out quickly and replace them with people with good credit, good income that were paying on time. So I just basically used my knowledge and experience, and I noticed real quick that people would kind of dismiss me when because I had to build the business from zero. I mean, it was
right.
literally goose egg. I didn't even have my own rentals to manage. It was because I already had tenants in them, right? The only signs was putting up were people that I was calling out of the Yahoo classifieds, just cold calling.
Oh, wow.
And I remember my spiel was real simple. I would tell them, "Hey, how long has your property been vacant?" And they would, back then in the early 2000s, the answer was usually 2 or 3 months,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah,
And I said, "Well, you can hire me for less than a month's rent,
right.
and I will get it rented in 2 weeks
Wow.
if you price it where I tell you to price it." And I
Yeah,
would say it's not like a can of beans that sits on a shelf that's still worth $1.29 next month. Once that rent is gone, you're losing $100 a day if you count your taxes, your insurance, blah, blah, blah. So, um, and then to seal the deal, I would say, "Hey, I'm a landlord myself. I know
uh,
how you are, how hard things are for you. I'm not going to charge you a dime until I deliver the first, the last, the deposit, then I get paid." So that was then the light bulb came on and they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're hired."
wow.
And that's how I built the business. I basically built it just through, I was the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. It was just me. Um, Pretty quickly, a guy came to me. He was an older agent. He worked for, I think, Prudential, and he was a pretty well-known property manager in town. And he said, "Hey, I want to buy you a cup of coffee." And I said, "I don't drink coffee. Take me, take me for a milkshake." I was a big girl back then. When I got my license, I weighed over 300 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I was large and in charge. I was about the size of an average NFL linebacker back then. And this guy met with me and he was like, "Daisy, I want to take all the luxury rentals and I'll trade you all my condos and townhomes." So that right there told me
Yeah, no.
I was targeting the right market,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
Because you make the same amount whether it's a 1 bedroom condo or a 16 bedroom mansion, right?
Right, yeah.
Percentage is a percentage. And in all actuality, the higher end properties are easier, right, to
Yeah,
manage.
right.
Um, so for me, whoops, I got skewed here. For me, I knew I was onto something. So yeah, I just continued that path and just kept growing the business. And my goal was one a month. I just
Uh,
want one a month. And over the last, 20 whatever, it's been 25 years. Um, I've kept up on that. Not all of, I don't manage all of them, and I've fired a lot of landlords over the years. I, you know, I don't waste time with people who aren't like-minded. To me, a beautiful bride attracts a handsome groom with good credit and good income. And if you don't respect your property, I'm not your person.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So that's how I've built the business. And what inspired me to do real estate was actually this is a crazy story. You'll like this one. Um, I think I was a sophomore in college. I attended Menlo College in Atherton. I played volleyball there, and I was a business major. And I had a teacher who was a real estate investor, and he offered a class called it was a business class called real estate investing.
Okay.
Now, Menlo was a very small college. I think we had 610 students.
Wow.
And so it was pretty elite. I remember my statistics class, they went around the room asking what people's allowance were.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had princes from Saudi Arabia that were getting 40,000 a month.
And
I
you're like,
was too embarrassed to admit that I was getting $100 a month.
yeah, right.
But
You're like, whoa, wait.
yeah, but this class only had, I think, 7 or 8 students in it. So the teacher wrote up on the whiteboard one of the first days of school. He said, if I give you each $100 to invest in stocks or real estate, which one would you pick? Assuming that each of them doubles every 6 years.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, this, mind you, this would have been 1986,
Okay. Yeah.
before, right? Black Monday
First.
happened in
Yeah. Right.
87,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So, stock market was fast and furious. It was the 80s. Money was quick and easy. Um, I figured the obvious answer is real estate because this is a real estate class,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Yeah.
But everybody else in the class raised their hand and said, stock, stock,
Oh,
I'm going
yeah.
to buy
Yeah.
stock.
Yeah.
Because, Apple, and there were all these stocks that were going crazy back
Yeah. Right.
then, right?
Right.
So um, I felt a little peer pressure, like maybe I'm giving the wrong answer, but I stuck with real estate. And then the professor wrote a very simple, I'm a visual learner, Bruce.
Yeah.
When he wrote it up on the whiteboard or chalkboard, and maybe it was a chalkboard back then.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah.
He basically showed that $100, we buy a stock, it doubles. How much do you get back?
Ah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So on that $100, you get $100 back.
Okay.
1-to-1 ratio. Now, with real estate, you put up $1, the bank loans you 9.
Ah.
In 6 years, that house in Atherton that you buy for $100. Back then, I think the Atherton average home was 1.2 million that year because
Oh.
we did that calculation. But let's just say $100 bought you a house.
Yeah.
Now the bank loans you 9. Now it doubles. You get $11 back. Right?
Ah.
So
Ah.
my dad used to take me to the track when I was a kid. Would you rather have a 1-to-1 ticket or an 11-to-1 ticket? Right?
Yeah. Right.
I like a long shot.
Yeah.
Um, and then the other thing he taught us was the value of real estate is really affected most by population growth. That's what heaps up the gain, is
Yeah. Right.
population growth. So if you buy in a zip code where there are jobs, good schools, population growth, it's going to go up quicker than an
Right.
area without that, right?
Yeah.
So that really resonated with me. And when it came time for me to buy, I remember um, being 21. I got a job right there off of Twin Dolphin Drive by Oracle,
Okay. Yeah.
back in the day in Redwood
Right.
Shores. And the only thing I could afford in the Bay Area was a 1-bedroom rundown, like foreclosed condo in Santa Clara, or there was a couple options in the East Bay.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
And I remember going in and talking to the CEO of the company where I worked at that time. And I said, if it were you, where would you buy? And he said, well, I've heard good things about San Ramon. I don't think Livermore would be a good option. And he kind of ran through the options in the East Bay. He said, I think the schools are the best in San Ramon, and I think the population will grow there. So if it were me, I would buy in San Ramon. So I did. I
Wow.
bought a condo for I think it was 89,000 in
Oh, wow.
1989. And then I turned around and rented it out. And back then you could rent out a condo for about a
Uh-huh.
thousand bucks.
Yeah.
And then I bought another one for 100,000,
Yeah.
put 10,000 down, rented it out. And back then you could pull a positive cash flow, right?
Oh, yeah. Right.
So I did that. I was basically flipping places and doing that without even knowing what I was doing. Um, but I quickly learned that I was house rich and cash poor,
Yeah.
right? And
Right.
that's hard. That's hard to live that way.
Yeah.
Um, but every time I would get a commission check when I would sell, I covered Intel worldwide, and I was doing that. Um, so that's how I learned about real estate investing. And that class is what kind of taught me that could be a good career choice for me if I
Right.
wanted to change. So when the opportunity after 9/11 hit to change, and I started seeing the writing on the wall, thinking, I don't want anybody telling me when I have to retire.
Right.
Um, and let's face it, in the corporate world, when the TPS report comes out and you're making, you're blowing your numbers away, they just raise your goals. So
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah.
that
They
was
don't.
another thing I figured out real quick. So I thought, I don't want anybody to tell me what I have to do to make a bonus. I want to be able to get paid as much as I want. So
Right.
that's um that's why I think it's been a good career move for me. Now, the downside of residential real estate, you got to work weekends.
Mm,
And you got to answer your phone no matter what day of the week, no matter whose birthday, holiday.
right.
So that's hard. But if you can get past that and you're good at relationships and you're honest and you're ethical, you'll have a good career.
Yeah. No, that is absolutely true. So right now you're up to like 200 units that you manage yourself, and then there's another group that you manage for third party, or what's the second group?
We do what we call tenant finding, tenant placement. So it's where we get paid to do the heavy lifting, to put the tenant in. Um, but
Yeah.
I don't get the phone call if the AC goes down on 4th of July. You know what I mean?
Right. You're not
So,
doing the actual property management. You're just
yeah. I'm
putting the
just
tenant in.
getting paid the fee. I think in San Francisco, the going rate is 1 month's rent, right?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
play. That's what I do for about 400 to 600 houses
A year.
a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that kind of pays
And
the rent,
that's
I'm
and that's
sure.
repeat business, because if you're diligent and you get them good tenants, they're going to keep coming back to you for life.
Yeah. Right. So
Mhm.
that's just a nice thing that you work together on. So you use a little AI in your work also?
I just started implementing AI, and let me tell you, it's freed up a lot of my time.
Uh-huh.
Um, I I started using Chat GPT a couple years back, but I've switched to that app called Claude.
Right. Yeah.
And Claude, if I tell Claude, hey, prepare a, a residential rental appraisal report with comparables for 125 Main Street, USA, in a PDF form, I can be on the phone with someone, a new client. They'll ask me what their house will rent for. And by the end of the conversation, I hang up and I text them that report, and they're very impressed.
I would think so. They're like,
right?
whoa, what happened here? How's this
Yeah.
possible?
How's this
Yeah.
girl know all this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fantastic. Yeah. But Claude is just amazing that way.
it is.
Yeah. No,
You have to check it though. It's not always,
yeah.
sometimes the comps they pull are a little iffy. You have to go through it. And that's the great thing about the real estate business. Bruce, you and I are never going to be replaced by a robot or AI.
Right. Right.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You still have to meet people, see them. There's been so many evolutions of companies that have started that I've seen come and go,
Yeah.
um, that have tried to do property management without people involved, you
That
know,
doesn't work.
just putting a little box on the door and letting people do self-service, and you get scammers in there. You got
Oh,
to know who you're handing those keys to, especially in California,
oh my God. Yeah.
right?
We've been scammed. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's your best scam story? What?
Oh, we did one of those tours where, somebody came in, we leased it out to them, and it turned out they were just totally scamming. They subleased it to somebody else and then
Hmm.
couldn't get them out there. We never got the money. It's just a nightmare. So,
Well, I've got a great story. I don't
yeah,
know if your viewers want to hear it, but it's pretty scary.
yeah.
Um, I had a guy who I thought was named Kevin. He was a young 30 something high tech worker with 810 credit and, six-figure income.
All great. Yeah.
All great. He
Yeah.
rented a place in Dublin, fastest growing city, right off the highway. And when he moved in, the owner was actually there. Even though I manage it, the owner happened to be there meeting with the gardener outside. And the owner called me and said, "Hey, why is he moving three beds into the
Oh,
house?"
oh,
And I said, "Well, he's living there alone. I guess maybe he'll have, he's originally from China. Maybe he's going to have relatives come. I don't know. I can ask him." And that's the exact story he gave me, right?
oh no. Yeah.
So, fast forward 4 months later, I get a call from the Human Trafficking Task Force
Oh no.
that it was an illegal Chinese mafia run brothel.
Oh no. Oh God.
I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah, right, right.
Like, okay, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. This is crazy. And do you know that the task force and the local law enforcement told me after they arrested the people and took they weren't even women, they were underage girls
Oh no. Oh
that,
geez.
yeah, from other countries
Oh God.
that were taken illegally from Japan, Australia, and God, just
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the they told me that I could not go in and change the locks after this
Oh
because
wow.
Kevin had tenants' rights under California law,
Oh no. Yeah, right.
right?
Ah,
Now, Daisy's not as scared of anything or anyone. And
right.
when I need to fight, I will fight.
Yeah.
That's why people like to hire me because I can be good cop and I can be bad cop. And when I need to be bad cop, I get really bad.
Yeah.
So I reached out to this guy and I said, "Listen, Kevin,
Kevin, yeah.
I know your name's not Kevin, and I know you're on the run, and the people that worked with you are all in jail, but I need you to give me permission to remove all the furniture in the house or give you access to the house for the next 48 hours to get this stuff out so I can change the locks and get a paying tenant in."
Yeah.
He agreed to come by and get his stuff. So the cops staked it out. They arrested more people that
Oh
Kevin
no.
hired,
Oh God.
trying to get them to point to him up to him. But yeah, and then I sent my husband over, who's a retired cop,
Oh wow.
and he has, uh, you know, permission to carry a firearm. And he went over there with the locksmith and we changed the locks and got the place rented within 6 days.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, after a very, very extensive sanitation of every, but that's the type of crazy stuff that if that had happened to an individual landlord,
Oh, yeah.
it could have put them under financially.
Oh, yeah. It would have
Because it
been
takes
months.
at least 6 months to do a proper eviction
Oh,
in
yeah.
Alameda
The
County.
courts and the sheriff and yada, yada, yada.
Mhm, mhm.
Just a mess, mess, mess.
So yeah, Daisy's a gangster. She don't play. I do what I have to do. It doesn't matter if my client owns a 500 square foot studio or if they own a $6 million mansion in the Pleasanton Hills. I treat them all the same. I respect everybody's money and time the same. And you know, it everybody starts at a certain level. I always say money's like a closet. Think back to the first closet you have. Mine was in a dorm and it was the size of my little cupboard, right?
Right, right. Yeah.
The older you get, the more money you make. Guess what? You get a bigger and bigger closet. And you run out of closet space the more you know.
Regardless. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the way I look at real estate and investing and all that. You got to respect the people that are coming in with the small closet because that's their closet.
Their closet. Well, with that, where can people get a hold of you if they want to expand their real estate world?
Um, I work from my cell phone, which you can see. That's that I don't even have a laptop or a computer. I have assistants that work from those, but I work from this phone. So my number is 925 200 6922. And if you forget my last name, you can always Google Daisy Pleasanton. You'll find me. And they can reach us at our website, pleasantonmanagement.com. All spelled out, pleasantonmanagement.com. And the company is Pleasanton Properties Management.
And you're Daisy at Pleasanton Properties.
Daisy at pleasantonmanagement.com is my email.
That's fantastic. All right, well, let's keep in touch because I want to see how this world is changing over the next 6 months or so. Because right now, East Bay is very hot. So we'll
Yeah,
see if
yeah,
that changes or if that gets better, what happens in the future.
yeah. And you have to throw those statistics out, Bruce, that in the residential market, for the first time ever, there are more rentals than homes for sale. That's rare. You
That is
know,
very rare.
San Francisco this morning, over 2,300 rentals available. Out of those, under 100 of them were single family rentals for rent. So that's a crazy statistic. And then for sale, 976 homes for sale, only 227 of those are single family residents for sale, which means there's a lot more condo and townhome inventory than there is houses.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Getting harder and harder by those single family
it
houses.
is. And for investors with deep pockets, the market that's the hottest, that's gone up the fastest is where the Nvidia, Google,
Mm.
the AI company buyers are going, and that's San Mateo County.
Oh, wow.
San Francisco is the medium price, I think, rose about 20% in the last year in San Francisco County, but in San Mateo County, much higher on homes over 5 million. So it
Oh,
just tells me the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
yeah, I think unfortunately that is the stat, but we'll
Yeah.
see what happens over the next 6 months, see what this crazy world's going to bring us. And I look forward to talking more stats
Yeah.
with you down the road here.
Okay, Bruce, it was a pleasure meeting. Good luck.
Thanks so much. Talk to you
Thanks.
soon.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.